In this episode, I visit with Lou Mongello, longtime podcaster on the WDW Radio network, who talks about advanced strategies for monetizing your podcast through offline methods. Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox, and today I am really thrilled to have Lou Mongello. I've been a huge fan of what he has done in podcasting and in our community for many years. I'm thrilled to have you on this episode, Lou. So I wanted to, first of all, thank you for taking the time to visit with me today.
Thank you for inviting me. Looking forward to chatting with you.
So, Lou, could you tell us what your role is in the world of podcasting?
So I've actually been podcasting since 2005. It's funny when I tell it, people are like, don't you mean 2015? I'm like, no, 2005. I was a lawyer in my past life. I started podcasting about my love of Disney in 2005. And a couple of years after that, ended up taking the huge leap of faith and turning what I loved into what I did. And I've been doing it full time ever since.
I heard your story when I started in 2012, and I'm a lawyer too. And I have to say, it really inspired me what you did. So I've always wanted to thank you for that, even though we've never met before this podcast. Let me turn to Podfest Expo 2023. And as I understand it, you've got a couple of events. You're on a panel and giving a talk. Could you give us a teaser of those events?
Sure. The first thing I'll be doing is a panel with three other people, Lauren Gaggioli, Eric Fisher, and Jeff C. We'll be talking about advanced monetization techniques. Each of us are full-time podcasters, have been doing it for a long time and really want to help people get to that next level in terms of monetizing their shows and, more importantly, the community around them. I'll also be part of the Podfest Pro track, and I'll be doing a short talk about using offline engagement to build online community, talking about taking people from beyond communicating online and in their ears and doing events and things in real life to continue to not just grow your community, but grow your revenue.
Lou, the third sort of general question I wanted to ask is, what do you hope to get out of Podfest Expo 2023? But before we get to that, I want to preface it with, you're one of the senior members in our community. I've seen you talk multiple times at Podfest and other events, and you've been around for a while. And so what does someone like yourself really get out of an event like this, recognizing that you've been doing this quite some time?
First and foremost, I would never assume or presume that I don't have more to learn. And one of the things I love about Podfest is it's the people. And it's the conversations that happen and the education that happens not just in the four corners of the presentation rooms, but more importantly, the relationships, the connections that are made in the hallways. I think sometimes that's where the best stuff happens. And I look forward to, it's really two sides of the same coin. One, I want to give, right? I want to be able to give and give back to a community that has done so much to help me and support me. And I also know what it's like to, especially be early on or at that sort of precipice of taking your show to the next level. So I want to help people in any way that I can. I also want to learn from people while I am there, make some relationships. It sounds like a marketing word, but I want to make some relationships and great friendships as well.
Lou, I, for one, am greatly looking forward to both of your presentations at Podfest Expo, and hopefully we'll have the chance to meet you as well. But I wanted to thank you again for taking the time to visit with us. Before we leave, if anyone wanted more information on your podcast or more about you, what would be the best place for them to go?
Sure. You can find everything I do on the podcast side of things at WDWRadio.com. My podcast is all about the Disney parks and Marvel and Star Wars. And you can find out what else I do in podcasting and speaking and things like that over at LouMongello.com.
Thanks so much, Lou.
Thank you.
All right. This is Tom Fox again. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I hope you'll plan to join me at Podfest Expo 2023 in Orlando from January 25 to 29. If you'd like more information on Podfest Expo, check out their website, PodfestExpo.com. Thanks again for listening, and I look forward to visiting with you again.